All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast. Tonight, I'm honored to have Mr. Dan McQueen joining us all the way from London, England. So we're going international tonight. And Dan is going to talk about a resilient mindset. He's going to cover his story, what he's been through, and how he's bounced back, and he's inspiring other men and women as like to have a better mindset, a more positive outlook. So Dan, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, Steve, thank you for having me on the show, man. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, likewise. So you want to kind of kick it off and tell the listeners kind of how you got into this role and how your story kind of starts. I've read about you, and I think it'd be great if you kind of share your testimony on here tonight for our listeners.
For sure, Steve. I'd love to. My story takes place back in jolly old London, England in 2014, working in tech. Late nights, we had a keg at the office, so Friday nights were always fun. We polish off the keg and then spill it to the pubs afterwards in London. Late night bus home, havoc on the night bus. Was playing five-a-side footy, ball hockey in London, traveling around Europe on my weekends, really like enjoying life and having fun, man. It was fast and loose. All the fast, all the loose, brother. It was pretty damn good. And then I started having these headaches. They got worse after a few weeks. Taking painkillers like candy for them, my head was pounding. Headaches got so bad I was in a tube one day. The tube's how you zigzag around London, lumbering towards Nine Hill Gate tube station on the District line. A slow roll at the best of times. Headaches started getting so bad, my vision turned spotty and I saw stars. When it slowly started to fade to black. It was a race to see who could arrive at the station first, me or the blindness. Arrived at Nine Hill Gate tube station, stepped on the platform, mind the gap, and the lights went out. I couldn't see a thing. So, Steve, I want to ask you, able-sighted guy your whole life, all of a sudden you're thrust into the depths of blindness, the stale air of the station's in your nostrils, you can't see a thing. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you do?
That sounds like a state of panic, man. I mean, I guess you just ask for help if anyone's around you. Honestly, I don't know. I've never experienced that.
Yeah, that was, I think, a valid response to that. I decided to do absolutely nothing. I stood there and froze like a statue, not moving, not just thinking, how am I going to get out of this pickle? After the longest 3 minutes of my life, my vision came back and I carried on with my day. But the next day, I went storming back to A&E. A&E is actually emergency in the UK, like ER in Canada, United States. And I told them what the hell's going on here. I was blind on a tube station in London. This is not normal. What's going on here? They ran some more tests and again, they thought it was vertigo. They sent me home. On the way out, they told me I could always get my eyes checked by an optometrist. An optometrist, that's kind of odd, but okay, sure. Next day, the heads came back with a vengeance, and I found myself in Mr. Patel's chair. He was midway through a routine exam when he stops the exam, excuses himself from the room, and comes back a few minutes later with a sealed envelope which he hands to me. He told me to go directly to Moorfields Hospital, which I did. Well, Steve, I stopped at home first to grab a Jack Reacher book by Lee Child, the phone charger, and a bite cheese. Arrived at Moorfields Hospital, handed the envelope. They ran the same test there again, then escalating up to Charing Cross Hospital. We're getting somewhere thinking this is positive. This is a good thing, right? Now, it turns out, Steve, I had a dangerous buildup of pressure in my brain caused from a non-cancerous cyst in my pineal gland. Turns out I required emergency brain surgery tomorrow. Turns out I was able to change altogether. After a frantic back and forth with folks in Canada, the last text message Mom received reads, "I'll see you soon, Mom. Think I'll have a new haircut next time I see you. Love, Dan." So Mom's in the air flying to London on June 21st, 2014. I'm on the operating table. Something goes horribly wrong, and I have a massive bleed in the brain, a brain hemorrhage. The cyst burst when they operated. So Mom lands and finds I'm in critical condition. I was in a coma for 4 weeks, but was in and out of consciousness for months after this. Things were pretty dicey, touch and go. When all was said and done, I learned how to walk, talk, and smile again. And that's where my story kicks off, Steve.
You've been through a lot, man. That sounds like hell. Goodness, you were able to get to the hospital when you did.
Well, that optometrist, man, like he saved my life.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Shout out Specsavers for the optometrist there, man. He like honestly, he saved my life because the doctors punted this, right? They didn't know what's going on. But him saying, take this to the hospital, go directly to the hospital, give this to them.
Yeah.
He sparked this whole chain of events that led me having the brain surgery, having the hemorrhage, being in the coma, and then waking up 4 weeks later being told what happened to me. My mom, dad, and brother on the bed. I can't talk, but I'm trying to talk. I go, give me a pen and paper. I write down on the pen and paper, I go, get me the hell out of here. And show it to my brother Cam. And I point at him and you get me out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me like, what do you want me to do, dude? Like, your one eye's wonky as hell. My leg had atrophied in the coma. I couldn't walk. I was hooked up to 13 tubes and hoses. It was 0 to 60, well, in 4 weeks, but in an instant for me, I was one day having surgery, and then 4 weeks later, I wake up from the coma being told, "Hey, Dan, you had a brain hemorrhage. You can't walk, talk, or smile." Life gets pretty small, pretty real, pretty fast when you've been told this is what happened to you, and it was a dogfight off the hop, man.
Did you ever reconnect with that optometrist after you went through your healing and all that?
I did, yeah, I got a great photo with him if I use in my presentation, so it's a good photo
Nice.
with Mr. Patel.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. That's
I think
incredible.
he's, pretty chuffed that he kept the photo of my eye, and he's like, "Oh, it's good to see you." But,
Yeah.
like, that guy, man, that guy, not all heroes wear capes, man. That guy just, "This looks wrong, I'm gonna escalate this."
Mhm.
To the optometrist, to the doctor, to the brain surgeon, to the coma, to waking up 4 weeks later being told, "This is what happened to you." The doctors initially told my parents he was not gonna be a talker again. His vocal cords are fried from the tracheotomy. He's
Wow.
not gonna be a talker again. I had a Kiwi nurse, and she was a mean old gal, and she looked at my file. My parents had built this lovely dossier on me, telling who Dan is in the coma. Dan's a sportsman, a master's graduate, world traveler. He enjoys these sort of activities. Sportsman, she thought. I'll get him talking again. Took me down to the park, some kids playing football, soccer across the park. She goes, "Dan, there's kids across the park. They don't think you're good enough to talk, Dan. They don't think you're good enough to talk." And I found out pretty quickly that's a trigger for me. And they yelled across the park some profanities. "I'll spell you your team today," but needless to say, I found my voice. Proving you wrong was a huge motivator for me.
Yeah.
I can't talk? Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I yelled across the park just a tirade of messages, and the vocal cords got woken up and warmed up. And the next day, my mom goes, "How are you doing, Dan?" And I go, I give her the thumbs up. Good. She goes, "Don't use your words." And I go, "Oh, I should never started talking." But just find out what motivates you, man. It's so
Yeah.
important, right? Ride the wave that comes. Don't judge your motivation.
Right.
Proving you wrong is a vital piece of this pie, right?
Yeah.
And it worked.
So your driving factor was proving that nurse wrong. You think that was kind of the first step through your recovery? Saying that you can't do it, proving her wrong, and then you did do it.
Well, dude, tell me I can't do something and I'll scorch the earth and bend
Yeah.
the world to fit my parameters, right?
Yeah.
I love being told I'm not good enough or not good enough to do something. Like, cool, watch me.
Right.
Like
Right.
growing up, I was always a bit undersized and, dated girls well above my league, and always was, "Dan got this?" Like, yeah, man, I got this. And I've got that in me in spades, man.
Hmm.
Now I'm now trying to transition motivation from more service based, lend a hand. Your success is my success. My success is your success.
Yeah.
When it's service based, it's long tail. It lasts much longer than the interaction here. When I prove you wrong, Steve, and no disrespect, but when I prove you wrong, brother, the motivation evaporates like it was never there. I've learned that the hard way. When it's long tail, when it's service based, it lasts for a long time. Your success is my success. I've got one other pillar of motivation that I want to share with the group today, and that's proving people right. I had a friend of mine, Claire Nash, came down to visit me in London. A friend of mine when I used to work at BC Hydro. And when she came down to the hospital to visit me, I was in a wheelchair. She goes, "Dan, you're progressing so well. You're doing so much work here." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm showing that I'm working hard, but I can work harder." I knew myself I could work harder. She went up to Scotland to visit a friend. When she came back down, I was walking again, albeit on the Zimmer frame, but I was walking. I wanted to prove her right. So prove her right, prove them wrong, and service.
Yeah.
You can harness all three of those. You can pull yourself forward in a fast direction. They're not mutually exclusive. So you can harness all three, but ride those waves, man. Don't judge the motivation that comes, right?
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Where do you see discipline in all this? Because those two words get thrown out a lot nowadays: motivation and discipline.
Yeah, discipline's key, man. Like, if you don't have discipline, you don't have anything.
Right. I agree.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it, right? So how do you foster resiliency, okay?
Hmm.
By proving that you do what you're saying to do day in, day out.
Hmm.
If I say it out loud or think it out loud, I have to do it. I owe those things.
Yeah.
I do it by building an undeniable stack of evidence. This is how to do what I say I'm going to do. Over weeks, months, years, I've proven that I do this. So just do what you say you're going to do, man. Your word is your bond.
Yeah.
You're gonna look in that mirror every day and be like, "I did the best I could today." Yes, no. And when Claire went up to visit a friend in Scotland, I'm like, "I could try harder. I could do more." And when she came back down, I was walking, and that was a spark I needed to get me walking again, right?
Hmm.
But this was a dogfight out of the gate, Steve, and it was very difficult to navigate. I'd like to share a story about the splint, if I may, with your group. Would that be okay?
Yeah. Totally.
So, as I mentioned, my leg had atrophied in the coma, so my leg was non-viable for the first 3-4 months. I underwent an experimental Botox procedure in the back of my knee to loosen up ligaments. And I wear a splint, like a cast over my leg to stretch the leg muscle. Now, the first night I wore the splint through the night, no issue, no stress. This will be easy, I thought. This will be easy. Hinting it's not going to be easy, right? The second night, after 20 minutes, it was painful. After 30 minutes, it was dreadful. After 40 minutes, it was unbearable. I buzzed the nurse. Take the splint off my leg because I can't handle the pain. But I told them tomorrow we're doing this for an hour. A walker, I can handle the pain. Big talk, Steve. Big talk. So third night, they wrapped the leg, tied off at the ankle. Give me the clicker, the nurse call button. To go patrol the Wilson ward. Now, the Wilson ward was an L shape, so short on this side, long on this side. Short on this side, long on this side. They leave me in that hospital room that smells like only a hospital room can smell. Sanitized, sterilized. It's clean, but you're wondering what sort of atrocities have been committed on the guys at Lemony Zestness. After 10 minutes, the leg's painful. After 20 minutes, the leg's dreadful. After 30 minutes, the leg's unbearable. I start passing the clicker back and forth, trying to distract myself from the pain. Now, more than the eye patch today to counter the double vision I've got. Wasn't wearing this at the time. So I'm just groping at this clicker going back and forth, right? As the pain ratchets up, my throats get more enthusiastic. Till eventually, inevitably, I drop the clicker and it lands on hard linoleum floor 3.5 feet down the ground. Look over the edge of the bed. I can see the clicker there on the floor looking back at me. If I get that clicker, I can stop this pain. I can end this monstrosity. Only problem was, Steve, the fall from that height might break my arm. In fact, I figured about a 50-50 chance of breaking my arm in a coin flip. Not the best odds. I changed tack. I'm trying to untie the splint, but it's tied up at the ankle, not at the hip. I can't reach that far down. I'm not that flexible. Help, I'm yelling as loud as I can, but the word Wilson was an L shape, right? Short on this side, long on this side. Short on this side, long on this side. They're far in the ward. They can't hear me on for help. I time to flip the coin. Drop down and grab the clicker, even if I break my arm, Steve. The splint's gonna come on my leg. That's part number 1, 2, and 3. Lower myself off the edge of the bed, crash down in an absolute heap, blankets, wires, cables, it's all go, an absolute yard sale. The arm, Steve, holds. And I hammer the clicker, expecting the nurse to come bursting into the room like the bats was put up. They kind of stroll in 5 minutes later. What are you doing the floor of? First of all, I say, that's a fantastic British accent. Where did you say you're from again? No, I didn't say that, Steve. I didn't say that. Let's get the splint off my leg, please. I'll tell you all about this. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters, right? It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters. The reason why I'm telling you a story, Steve, is I learned 3 lessons from this experience. The first lesson being, most evidently, let's not pass the clicker back and forth. That's a bad idea. Second lesson was, let's have the splint off of the hip and on the ankle. That way you can untie the issue that's happening going forwards. And the third lesson, and probably most profound, was let's always be solutions oriented when these things happen in life going forwards. When something goes wrong, how do you fix your issue? How do you solve your problem? Solve one problem and build from that. Solve the next problem.
Right.
It's huge. That got me walking the hallways of the Wilson. That tees up my next story for walking in Toon Broadway. So, Steve, you haven't been to London? Was that right?
Oh, I've actually lived in Germany as a kid for a while, but I've never been to London.
Germany's a lovely spot. Well, London, England is fantastic. But I'm going to tell you about an area in London called Toon Broadway, an area in South London, an area they call up and coming.
Yeah.
Think loud sirens, drugs, gangs. It's dirty, it's hectic, and boy, is it busy, Steve. I'm walking with a cane, I'm walking with an eye patch. After 4 months in a wheelchair, I'm literally Bambi on ice. I turn the corner to walk on the high street for the first time, immediately get slammed into by someone. Stagger back a few feet. Someone scurries past me on the right-hand side. I thought I was done with the rats. Someone had been stabbed on the sidewalk over here. I'm thinking, this is a pretty wild place to learn to walk. After a few days of this, I was thinking, this is the worst place to learn how to walk in the world. Can't they see I'm trying to walk here? Can't they see I'm trying here? And then one day my perspective shifted. Maybe this is the worst place to learn how to walk in the world. No, maybe this is the best. If I can walk here, I can walk anywhere. My Toon Broadway didn't change, right, Steve? But I went from the worst to the best in my mind, and my mood reflected that. What are you looking at in your life that convinces the worst? Convinces the absolute worst? Hey, maybe it is. If you can find a way to turn down the suck a little bit, shift that perspective a little bit. Iron Mike Tyson famously said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Now, your punch may not be a brain hemorrhage, right? Facts. Will be a job loss, a breakup, a diagnosis for you, a loved one. You will take that punch in the mouth. How you respond? I'm offering a compass, not a map, but a compass. It always points towards true north. We'll look at things like mindset, perspective, and hacks. Hacks that allow you and your team to better than yesterday, tomorrow. My name's Dan McQueen, and the reason why I told you this rubble to walk in Toon Broadway is when you change the way you look at the world look at changes. And you don't need a brain hemorrhage to understand that.
That's very good advice. Yeah, and it's easy to get down and be negative, and I think what I took away from that is you see the bright side. You see, hey, what am I learning from this? How can I get better? And it's just gonna benefit you. And I'm guilty of that, man. I'm guilty of my mindset not always being the most positive. And I always say in my head, stay the course. Just keep plugging along. I'm like you. I like to prove people wrong. So I I like to kind of keep going and push forward. But that's a great story and great advice.
Thanks, Steve.
But yeah, that's a great way, and I think for someone that's maybe has the mindset of training or doing physically hard things, that's a way too to look at it. Like, hey, that part of town was a rough, hard area to learn to walk, but you got better because that was almost an impossible place to learn to walk again or walk again. So it's a good way to look at it.
Exactly. And like I spent a lot of time on my backside in the hospital, right? Like I was in a wheelchair at the stage. I thought, why is it so difficult to walk there? Well, people bump into you, they crash past you, it's dirty, it's busy, it's hectic. I thought about if you were to design a place to learn how to walk again, right? Wouldn't you want to make it challenging and difficult? Wouldn't you want to make it challenging?
Hmm.
You would, right? So like this is actually the best. When that mindset shift happened in my mind, I looked forward to my walks. I looked forward to people bumping into me and crashing past me. Good, bring it on. If I can walk here, I can walk anywhere.
Right.
But that subtle shift in mindset made all the difference to me. And like I began to look forward to my walks because you're making me better here. Thank you for the opportunity to learn. But it's all about how you look at things, right? That perspective piece is so big, right? Is the worst or the best? Like you choose. The decision you make every day is what reflects your world around you. So decide what you want to make it and make it so.
One of the things that stood out to me when it pertains to mental health was how you mentioned overcoming obstacles by reframing. Do you have any advice, or did you yourself seek out any kind of mental health experts, or other than obviously you had the mindset piece, you developed that, but did you seek out any counseling or any techniques that you developed to kind of keep your mental health in check for what obviously from what you went through?
Yeah, so I had some support with the brain injury groups and whatnot, but a lot of it was done through podcasts and like motivational speeches online and just understand how you can reframe your mindset and like take on board what you want. Like Goggins and Joe Rogan and these guys help me foster a mindset of challenging the status quo and challenging my beliefs in myself and what it can accomplish. So like I've just immersed myself in that and realized I'm going to decide to be better at this. Because you can decide decide to let it die, or you can decide to let it live. And I decided to let it live.
Hmm.
I never lost the light in my eyes. My doctor told me, like, you never checked out, Dan. You always were like, you were there, you were with it, you were looking to get better. And when you're going through a hard time, you get to decide how you face it, right? And it's a decision you make every day. It's not a one and done decision, but it's every day you decide that I'm going to do it this way because that's the only way I can go. I'm not going to like fall down what I call the pity spiral of woe is me, this isn't fair. You're right, it's not fair. But it's still your responsibility. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. Gary Vee has this lovely quote. Gary Vaynerchuk says, the odds of you being a human being are 400 trillion to 1. 400 trillion to 1. Look how many zeros that is. That's a lot of zeros. You're more likely to win the lotto 10 times in your life in the first place. You get to do this. I'm only Dan McQueen because Bloop is in my DNA. Without it, I'm not me. I wouldn't trade myself for the world. You get to do this. Reframe it as like, I get to do this. This is a challenge. What a great story this is going to make for my autobiography. Like, look at all the hard shit I've overcome and dealt with.
Hmm.
Like, my mindset is bulletproof now. Like, I don't think, touch wood, like, I don't, there's nothing that's going to overcome and put me back now because it's like, I've navigated so much shit. I know I can overcome this stuff because I've gone through it. The way out is through, man. You can't wish it was easier, wish you were stronger.
Yeah.
Build yourself up, build that muscle up, right?
Yeah.
I used to swim. I still swim a lot, but I swim early days from the brain injury, and I swim, I get in the pool. It took me 45 minutes to get it changed, swim for 5 lengths, and then 45 minutes to get it changed. Not a lot of output, but a lot of effort to get in the pool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave this talk to my old Wolfson Rehab Center, and one of the guys said, after hearing your experience about swimming, Dan, I'm going to go back in the pool. After the brain injury, I stopped because there was so much effort to get back in the pool. But now, hearing you talk and how important that was for you, I'm going to try again. And that was the best comment I received because that catalyst for change, that catalyst for challenging what you're capable of doing is so important, right? So I swim 3 times a week in the pool. I swam yesterday for 68 lengths, the day before 58.
Wow.
I'm going tonight for probably 50, we'll say. but I do that 3 times a week to callous my mind and to give myself some boredom to, like, explore ideas in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pool is so gorgeous because, like, it's just like this blissful area where you're in the water, your breath, you just count your breath and the strokes are taken care of by lap counter,
Mhm.
and I just do it lap in, lap out,
Yeah.
breath in, breath out, and, like, you just get zen like that, but, like, I built that up from 5 minutes to now, I swim for an hour at least each time now.
That's badass, man. That's really cool. I love the water too. It's very calming.
It's very healing, and I think it's very nice to have that, like, that breath and that meditative process. Like, I meditate a lot as well, but
Okay.
in the pool, there's no outside influence, no traffic, no screens.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, save those pesky backstrokers, man. If there's a backstroker in my lane, I can punt the lanes entirely and go right to the hot tub and sauna. I got no time for backstrokers, man. I got a special thing with them, but like it's something I've built up over years of doing this work, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but I know I can do it, right? And I got a new
Right.
one that I use in the pool as well. So after doing the lengths in the pool, I go in the sauna. I get in the sauna for like 10 minutes. I'm getting to the end of my wits end there. I'm sweating buckets. I decide then and there, I'm not the next one out of the sauna.
Mhm.
Who's the next one out of the sauna? It's not me. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? I'm never the next one out of the sauna, but I'm always right behind them. I've lost this game once. There was a lie down in the sauna, someone lying down, just me and her in the sauna, and I go, oh, I can beat her.
Yeah.
No, I cannot beat her. She was hard as nails, man.
Wow.
You got to be aware of those liar downs in the sauna. They're always like massive meditative people. They can't handle that stuff. So I've lost it once, but every time since then, I've won that game. But you foster this by keeping promises to yourself, right? I know I can do it because I've done it for the past 30 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm 29 and 1 in that capacity.
Nice. Nice. Well, it sounds like you're really good too at giving yourself grace and acknowledging what you've been through. And I think that really builds that bulletproof mindset because I think a lot of men struggle with giving themselves that credit to say, "Look what I've been through." They just continue to either self sabotage or stay quiet or not continue to try to do the healthy habits, even like what you're talking about, staying active, meditating, things of that nature. At least from my
Yeah, like
experience.
neuroplasticity is real, but you got to put the work in, right? Like
Yeah.
I got to respect my battery now. My battery's about 75% of what yours is and what it was before. When I get below 50, I'm a little less pleasant. Below 40, I can't even think.
Hmm.
I got to take a nap or meditate to recharge my batteries to get back up to scratch.
Hmm.
Only by failing do I realize where that limitation is and what I can do and what I can expand beyond. But failure is so key for this, right? Like by failure, I mean you got to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. I got 3 examples of this I'll share with you, group. I used to walk with a cane in London. After the injury, I was walking with a cane to help support my leg. My left leg's a bit wonky. I came back to Vancouver for Christmas one year. I forgot the cane in London. And guess what? I was just fine, so I retired the cane. I used to wear a contact lens over my left eye to counteract the delusion I've got. I was going as far in South Africa. Thought dust and dirt would get in my eyes. Left the contact lens in Vancouver or in London. Just fine, so I retired the contact lens. I used to shower with a bath mat. Helped me stabilize myself in the shower. And every day I hang it up on the wall to dry during the day. And it was a symbol that I'm not good enough to shower. And it drove me nuts. Drove me nuts, man. One day I decided I'm not using the bath mat anymore. Told my parents this. They go, no, Dan, you need the bath mat. The doctors told you need the bath mat. Right?
Hmm.
I'm not using the stick and bath mat anymore. Next day I did the shower without the bath mat. And guess what? I was just fine, so I retired the bath mat. Only by risking failure can you push yourself to a new threshold, can you level up. Now, don't take a moonshot goal here where you can't hit the mark, but like ratchet this up to a point where you're happy with. Only by risking failure can you really progress and improve your lot. Failure is a very important lesson in this process, and that's first attempt in learning. Treat failure as like that first attempt in learning, and it'll shift your whole perspective on failure and what it means to not be good enough to do something. And you can ratchet up from there.
It's a good way to look at it, definitely. What about I wanted to ask you, Dan, what about faith? Did that play a role at all in your recovery process? Do you have any thoughts on that or
I
like to share anything on that?
I can't say it did, Steve. I can't say it did. I kind of fell into myself and my belief in myself and what I can accomplish. And hard work works, man.
Yeah.
And I relied on that mantra, and then like I just kind of leveled into that and used myself to buoy up myself, along with the friends and family who supported me. Right, I was very reliant on them, and friends and family came over to visit me lots, and from Vancouver. Parents came over to live in London for 2 years to help me get back on my feet and
Hmm.
go to the doctor's appointments and all the noise that comes with that. Like it was a lot of actual like MRIs and CT scans and blood work and doctor's appointments and eye appointments and there's so much noise that comes with an injury like this. It's baffling, really. But like they supported me so much with this process. So I relied on friends and family for the most part.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you have that strong support system. That definitely, I think, makes a huge difference. Dan, you still there?
And we're dead.
All right, we're back now. So you're talking about really your support system, and then kind of the hard work, and then kind of the faith in yourself. I was asking you about your faith. You still got me?
So got you. I'm turning low on battery. I got
Oh.
10%. You think we can make this done with 10%?
Yeah, for sure. You're low on battery?
All right, cool.
Yeah. We can wrap
10%. We got 10%. We're okay for that. But just so you know, I'm 10%. Okay.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up real quick. So I'll just try to piece this into it. So we can do it. How do you want to summarize our conversation tonight? Are there any points you want to drive home as we kind of close out here?
A perspective that you get to do this, right? Like the odds of you human being are 400 trillion to 1. And just foster a mindset that serves you. Why make it work against you? You decide every day if you want to go through this or not. And just decide every day that you want to fight this. But make that choice every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a whoop strap now, which counts my rest, recovery, strain. And every day I'm like pushing myself to my limits, what I can accomplish and do.
Mm-hmm.
But I get to do this, right?
Right.
To struggle, to fail, to strain, to like to win. And so reframing that mindset of like I get to do this, I'm better than yesterday, I think will serve your audience very well.
It's great advice. Great advice. I like that better than yesterday. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on our show tonight. For the viewers listening, and this is a great way to keep a positive mindset, to continue to push forward and be better every day. If you felt compelled to, or if you got something away from this episode, like and subscribe to our channel, the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast. And Dan, I'm gonna plug in the episode how folks can learn more about you and maybe attend one of your seminars. But what's the best way to find you and learn more about you online?
Yeah, thanks, brother. So McQueenDan.com, MacQueen Dan.com is my website. I'm McQueen Dan across the socials, but website's the best way to get hold of me.
Okay, and I'll put that in the notes for the episode on YouTube, so we'll have a link for it. That way, people can learn more about you and continue to get your word out, man. I really appreciate. I'm inspired by you, and it's an honor to talk with you. And I'm gonna take your advice, because I don't do the best job of always having the best mindset every day, and you've kind of awakened me a little bit to where I need to reframe my mindset. So I appreciate that.
You're very welcome, brother. It was lovely to chat with you and lovely to connect. So thank you for your time. Appreciate you, Steve.
Yeah, you too, brother. Nice meeting you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Take care, man. Thanks a lot. All right, man.